How's it going, everyone, and welcome back to another Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 video. Another video on the Icon A5 for you today, this time discussing the soft field takeoffs and landings. We are up in the hills of India to demonstrate this. We are on a dirt runway, and we're going to learn how to take off on a soft field. It's a little bit different. Again, I'm referencing the checklist that I've compiled using Icon released manual. The link down in the description for all the extra emergency procedures I didn't include. I just included what you can do within the sim based on operable buttons, that sort of thing, etc. But this is not a replacement for actual aircraft training. This is only to be used for simulation purposes. So with that liability issue out of the way, the aircraft is ready to go, except we need to configure it for a soft field takeoff. If you want to figure out how to start the engine from cold and dark or shut it down after landing, there's the main video that'll be carded in the top right and down in the description as well for you to check that stuff out. But for some reason my radio isn't on. That's usually on. It's a little bit bugged out right now, early in the release process. I believe we're up at 4,000 feet at this point, so a little bit high up in terms of altitude, but we want to first start off the soft field takeoff checklist by putting our flaps down at 15 degrees, and we're going to essentially want to get off the airstrip as fast as possible. So we're going to pull back on the stick while avoiding an excessive climb angle. Obviously we don't want to stall right off the ground, and we're going to be maxing the throttle, checking the flight instruments as we're going up, pull the landing gear up when we're climbing, and we're going to pull the flaps up to 0 degrees when we are climbing through 100 feet AGL. So let's go ahead and get that done. I'm going to pull back on the stick a little bit, put the throttle forward, and we are going to start rolling down the runway. We've got more than enough runway, but we really just want to get off the deck, or off the ground, I guess is the technical, off the runway as fast as possible because it is a soft runway. So I still got that back pressure on the stick. See our angle of attack indicators is jumping around. That's a good sign. There we go. Now kind of get up, and we should be just about ready to take off. There we go. Okay, so we are safely climbing, so let's pull up that landing gear. Wow, look at that. Beautiful. Kind of a dangerous runway if you ask me. Let's go ahead and pull up those flaps because now we are for sure 100 feet above ground level. And we're going to go ahead and throw in the landing in this video as well. So let's just run a basic pattern. I believe I can do a basic pattern here. I don't want to climb too high in this one. I think we're, what, like 4,000. There we go. That's actually where we're going to head. I'm going to slow down a little bit. So for soft field landing checklist, we're going to put our landing gear down, try to make it below 75 knots indicated airspeed. We're going to put the flaps all the way down to 30 degrees because, we want to maintain air as much as possible. We're going to check that the rudder is up, retracted, and it is. So I should be able to turn onto my towards final here. And we are going to want an angle of attack at the yellow line right here. Again, because we're on a soft field, we don't necessarily want our wheels digging into the ground. After touchdown, we're going to pull back on the stick again to kind of, float our nose wheel as much as possible. And during the rollout, we're going to minimize braking and maintain that aft stick, maintain that back pressure on the stick to keep our front nose wheel off of the ground as much as possible. So let's go ahead. We're pretty lined up here. I'm a little bit shallow on my turn, but we'll go ahead and wait, is it just, must be right to the left of that road. Yeah, it's got to be. I've never taken off or landed at this runway, so this runway is actually a little bit of an incline, I think. So we're gonna go ahead and let's go decrease throttle a bit, come down. Remember, we're going to want to hit the angle of attack in the yellow line here. Let's go ahead and get lined up pretty. I think we're actually off a little bit to the left. Let's go ahead and steer it in here like this. Let's go ahead here and let's cut power. And let's float down in. Pull back on that stick just a little more. There we go. Let's just brake just a little bit here. And then let's bring it to a stop. Not too bad. Pretty easy. Pretty long runway for us to just kind of roll out on for another safe landing. So again, if you want to check out some of the other checklists that I have in the downloadable booklet, check that out down in the description below. There's a lot of other stuff there, including water landings, as this is an amphibious aircraft, water takeoffs, landing, short field stuff. This is one of my favorite aircraft to fly in this game. Really happy to be making videos on it. Plan on making videos on all of the aircraft in the game as I get to them. There's a lot, so please bear with me on that. Subscribe so you don't miss them, and like this video to show that you guys enjoy seeing this type of content. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.